Hello guys, Riot just dropped a video that they are changing their ruling on Shitouren, the world's player that was accused of win trading. Let's get right into it.
Hello everyone, I'm Michael Sherman, head of TFT Esports, here to share an update on the ruling for Shitouren from the Into the Arcane Tactician's Crown. Additionally, I'll walk through some of our team's priorities moving forward. To sum it up, we rushed a call and made a mistake.
Yeah, this was a big problem, I think, for them, that they felt they are forced to make a ruling right away. I think whenever they are investigating stuff like that, they should give themselves some time. I think the call was very rushed because I think they had pressure that they would have to let either Prestivent or Lelu play. But I think no matter what side you fall on, if Shitouren win traded or not, I think Lelu should have played because obviously he's not he should not be held accountable for the actions of another player when trading for him unless there's like super obvious obvious evidence that he somehow was involved in that. And I think it would have been very unreasonable to let Lilu not play. So I think they should have just let him play and said, yeah, we are investigating the situation. We are ourselves not really sure what exactly happened there. But if he did win trade, we will find out and we will get back to you guys. I think the community wouldn't be so outraged, and I think it would have also set a better image for Riot.
And we want to make sure we own up to that and set up systems to ensure that the same mistake doesn't happen again. Based on the evidence we had access to initially, it was clear that Shitouren had made a poor decision in Game 13, but it wasn't enough to indicate intentional underperformance at the time. With the finals the next day, we found it important to move quickly and make a public ruling to respond to questions about which players should be in the finals.
Yeah, I think that is not the way to go about things. I think the ruling should not be like, if you can't prove that Lelu was involved, you should just let Lelu play, even if it's not, even if it was a win trade. I think you should have still let Lelu play because he cannot be held accountable for actions of other players. And then yeah, like move on, just investigate the situation, see all the angles from all the POVs, see the entire game from Shitouren's POV, and let some experts make their opinions and yeah, maybe have a voting system or like however you want to decide on that. There's like many ways on going about it, but I think you need some time, get enough expert in a room, and yeah, see Shitouren's POV and then make a decision. Because once I saw the full POV of Shitouren, like throughout the entire game, it was very clear for me. We all have been in these situations, like any competitive player that has like a prep group or a study group, and most of us do have a place where we are exchanging information. We will end up playing against some of our friends, some of our prep partners, and it always feels bad because you do want your prep group or your friends to succeed, but obviously you will have to play to your best ability. And I think it's a very common case where this happens, and even in lower tier competitions you can see this a lot. People helping each other during tournaments, and I think just from experience I can very comfortably or like very confidently say that it was a clear case of win trade, and I'm glad that they are now making changes. I wish they didn't come out with the statement they initially came out with, but I guess they learned from their mistakes.
Since then, we received new video footage and data from our partners that candidly we should have reasonably had access to during the initial investigation, and conducted follow-up interviews with Shitouren himself. From this, we've identified several other instances of underperformance during key moments of Game 13. Some of these instances had reasonable explanations, such as nerves during the tournament, device unfamiliarity, and exhaustion.
I mean, this all is true. Like a lot of players will make some mistakes that are a bit like unreasonable. When you are watching them, you might think it is win trade. Even at like regionals, like where the competition is already high, like where you already have like the top 20, top 30 players of your regions competing against each other, there will be cases of people just making stupid mistakes. But it will it will be more like it will be a mistake that they will do once, and it will not be clearly helping one other person, if that makes sense. Because with all the mistakes that were made, it was like 4 or 5 like super clear mistakes where it's not like you could argue that it was like a good like a play where you maybe forgot something. Like it's very very obvious, like not upgrading a unit. I think at like one point he doesn't upgrade like a Gangplank, even though he's above 50 and it's in the late game and he's on a win streak. Like there was no point where anyone ever would not upgrade this unit. And yeah, stuff like that, especially considering it was every time when he had Lelu in his rotation. So yeah, I think it was very obvious for anyone that is actually played any competitive tournaments in TFT.
From how late he was playing, but we identified a number of decisions that differed from his regular play throughout the tournament and did not live up to expectations for players competing in the crown. During stage 5-2, Shitouren
Oh yeah, this was one of the most outrageous plays where he just doesn't upgrade the Gangplank on the 13 win streak, by the way. I do want to mention he's on a 13 win streak. He's 90 HP. He's playing a reroll line that like oh man, like there's no player ever that is on this level that will not upgrade. It's not even about this level. Like even in lower tier levels, like everyone knows to upgrade this unit here. Like it's so unreasonable that it's like it's kind of funny now looking back at it. But like imagine you lose your spot because of someone like Shitouren that's like intentionally playing like this. Because this is not a device issue. This is not a ping issue. Once you see the unit is starting up, like it has even a highlight effect on it. Like at no point you would think, yeah, let me not upgrade this immediately and let's wait. Or like, there's no point in waiting. You would just upgrade it. Even if you're scouting afterwards, like you would know to upgrade this unit.
Did not to complete the 2-star Gangplank available in the shop. During our interview with him, he noted that he was scouting the entire round to maintain his win streak.
He was scouting the entire round. I mean, yes, sure, you can be scouting the entire round, but I mean, you have to also go back to your board to then move, depending on how people are moving, and then you would see that like it has a highlight effect, man. Like, come on.
The scouting resulted in no positioning changes or other actions that round, including a
Yeah, he just AFK'd for 30 seconds straight. Like he didn't do anything.
conscious decision to not start up Gangplank despite having the econ and time to do so.
I guess who he fought right after, like right
This
after
example
fought
plus other examples of underperformance don't match Shitouren's level of play in other games, and requires us to change our initial ruling. The ruling has now been updated to reflect a finding of intentional underperformance. You can visit the linked article to review the full details below. I want to be very clear. We still have no evidence that there was any direct coordination or collusion between Shitouren and any other player.
Yeah, it's hard for them to find out if there's like collusion, right? Like if they talked before that they will play like this and stuff like that. I mean, that will be impossible for them to prove. So I think Lelu gets away with it. I don't want to say gets away with it because I don't think Lelu did that. Or I wouldn't know, right? So I don't want to say this. But I think one topic that we really have to attack here with the competitive circuit is that you are incentivized to help the people in your region perform well at Worlds. Because the more people from your region performing well at Worlds, the more slots you will get for the next World Championship. Meaning, if like 3 or 4 Chinese players are performing really well at Worlds, you will get maybe an extra slot for the next time. Meaning you will have it much easier to qualify for the next set again. So I think they should really attack that problem. And yeah, I think you will not be able to prove any collusion here. I think they would have to be like, they need to be like giga dumb for them to be able to prove it.
Player. Additionally, even if we made this ruling during the tournament, the finals would not have changed. No other players were responsible for Shitouren's underperformance,
I agree.
and they shouldn't be punished as a result. This ruling means Shitouren will be suspended from the competition during our next set, Cyber City, and will be revoking his pricing from the Tactician's Crown.
Okay, 1 set ban, and then also he loses all the prize money, which is like, what was it, like 5, 6, 7K, something like this, maybe more. This is a good punishment. I don't know if that's enough, but that's something. Yeah, I don't know if that's enough, but that's for sure deserved.
We see competitive TFT as a key part of the game's future. I want to emphasize that we're taking this mistake and our new ruling incredibly seriously. Looking ahead, this incident has been a forcing function for reevaluating our policies for how we can maintain and streamline competitive integrity going forward. We're taking a 3-pronged approach, focused on education, prevention, and enforcement. On the education side, we'll be rolling out new materials that players must review before competitions, including general compliance guidelines, which cover underperformance and its potential penalties. When it comes to prevention, we're planning on making changes to the Tactician's Crown format to reduce the number of players who don't have enough points to progress in the tournament. Our goal is to prevent.
Oh yeah, that's also good. I mean, right now, if you're not able to make it in the top 8 range, which is quite often, you're just playing for some extra prize money, which is fine, right? Like getting a bit of a higher placement. It's also some prestige as well, right? Like being like 10th at Worlds sounds just much nicer than being like 23rd or some shit. And then also it's like a few $1,000s extra, which is not bad, but yeah, I think there should be maybe a different system where you first need to make it into the top 16 and then the top 8. Maybe something like that. Because then you obviously don't have the problem of people just not being able to make it in the finals after like 6 or 7 games and then just completely trolling for the rest of the tournament.
More situations where a player is competing with no possibility of continuing through the tournament. In edge cases where players who can't progress remain in a lobby, we'll have high-level spotters actively watching their POV.
That's good. I mean, you will always have these edge cases where someone is just like shitting the bed at a tournament, and then you always get into the scary territory where they might start win trading. But yeah, I mean, it's good if they have people watching their POVs. I think it's enough already if you can just access the POVs afterwards and then make a decision based off that. But yeah, I think that's super good. Having the POV from every player is something that we should establish in competitive TFT in general.
To identify irregular plays if they happen. No matter what, players are expected to play their best when they reach this level of competition. Additionally, we're going to be adding new recording and camera requirements for online players to prevent real-time coaching or collusion. Finally,
I'm not sure how having cameras will help with real-time coaching. Because I wouldn't have to speak for someone else to be in my ear and tell me, like, or like help me. So yeah, I think online play will always be a problem. Like cheating in online play will always be a problem. I know we had like in EU some cases of some Czech players that were in a Discord call playing together, or like being in the same lobbies during competitive tournaments and being in a call together. Like there has been like some crazy stuff going on, especially in the lower tier competition. So yeah, I think this will be a big problem for Riot in general. And I don't have a real solution for this problem unless you can like monitor everything about their PC, and I don't know if they are capable or like if they are allowed to do that. So yeah, I think that will be a big problem going forward in general.
The Tactician's Crown is a global competition based on individual performance, but our current regional performance slots reward regions for their overall performance.
Yes, that's good. I hope they change this. Yeah. They are talking about this. This is super important.
Going forward, we're moving those slots into our new Tier 1 circuit we announced last week. There will still be ways for a region to earn an extra slot, but they'll be awarded to individuals instead of an overall region. Expect more details here as we head into Set 15. Regarding enforcement, we'll be refining our investigation process to ensure that we have a more comprehensive set of steps for reviewing reports of underperformance. We'll be recording all player POVs going forward to ensure we have.
This is good. We need the POVs of everyone. This is also good that they are also rewarding now individuals instead of a whole region. Helps a lot with like cases of people trying to help others instead of helping themselves, or like instead of playing for their own highest placement. So overall, great changes so far. I think this video is very good so far.
Full access to video footage earlier in our investigations. This is a quick snapshot of what we're able to commit to now, and we'll be back closer to Cyber City's Tactician's Crown to walk through our full changes coming in our next set and beyond, including reviews of our server selection and reporting processes. Lastly, we truly believe that as an esport, TFT has the ability to bring together players from all around the world, allowing players to build relationships, have fun, and compete regardless of their background. And we ask for your feedback and support in making this the best competitive community possible. In the meantime, thank you for watching, and we'll see you on the Convergence.
I think overall a really decent video, like a really good video on changes that they are going to make. I think the outrage of the community was very well deserved, considering how they took action. So I think that was fully fine. And I'm glad that Riot is actually listening for once and implementing these changes is super good, and it's going to be very good for the future of TFT esports. I think we can all be very happy that they listened to our feedback, that they also reviewed the case again with additional footage. If you guys want to see the tweet and the entire article, this will be linked below with more information. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Leave a follow and let me know in the comments what you think about Riot's new statement.